Lost Art of Fishing Stories, written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. For tonight's episode, we're doing a fireside chat with the crew. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? And make sure you go to the website. That's the lostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There is a couple ways you can help support us here on the podcast. You can always go to that website. There's a one-time donation link. You can click on that. You can also click on the Become a Patron link. That's a monthly donation. Or heck, just go get you some cool merchandise. Or if you got a business you want to advertise, you can do that right here on the podcast as well. Big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project, man. If you guys don't know anything about them, you got to go check them out. Even if you do know something about them, you still got to check them out. You got to go and just help them as much as you possibly can. You can find them at tillvalhallaproject.com. Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member. All right, we're back here. I'm going to go around the country. And we're back. What's going on? We'll start with Jess. Jess, you got to tell us all about your daggum vacation. Oh, you got to unmute, man. You got to unmute. I can't hear you. Yeah. No. Oh, you had it for a second. You turn it back. There. Right there.
All right. So Ireland's still green. My mom's travel agent still needs an atlas. And there's rocks everywhere. And the Vikings are still the Vikings. Because I went all the way to Ireland to watch a kid from North Dakota State play a Green Bay Packer alumni. And, of course, he did what he did to us again. So, yeah.
Wow. That'd be the Steelers. The Steelers?
Yeah.
I hate it for you, brother. Man, that's just...
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry.
He's rejoicing like it's cool.
No, I did not realize how big of an international game it was, but I was sitting next to a couple from Croatia who were Steelers fans waving that flag, like waving that towel in my face the whole game. I'm like, please stop.
Oh, nice.
Well, if they were doing it right, it was like slap, 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 slap.
It was the drunk Pittsburgh lady behind me who was like whipping me with her towel. I'm like, are we serious? I'm wearing a
here we go, Pittsburgh. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Let it out. Just do your thing, man.
Now, you did get to watch a new game, new sport over there. I was very interested in that.
Hurling is amazing. So it's like a baseball with an axe-shaped club, and they play it on like a rugby field or a soccer pitch. They pass it to each other by hitting it with like this club, and then they got to hit it between the uprights or in a goal. And it was like we walked in, and there's a kid getting carted off with a concussion. I'm like, this game is amazing. And then they pick it up like a lacrosse, and they just dribble it. And next thing you take it off and just whack it, like kind of like 7 seconds in the air. This kid was just amazing. So I mean, it was. Yeah, it's a sport that I can get down with, but yeah, there's just broken fingers, concussions, and just beating the hell out of each other with a club. I'm like, this game is. If there was ever a Marine game, I think that might be it.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Well, you definitely had a good time, minus the Steelers part. But speaking of Steelers, we can just go right over to Mike there. He already chimed in about his Steelers already. But how's it going, Mike?
It's good. They had a bye week this week, so hey, they beat the Browns. Minneapolis beat the Browns today. I don't know if you're a Minneapolis fan, Jess, but
yes, there's that curse, the family curse.
Yep. There you go. But no, I'm doing good. I'm just poking fun.
I know. I'm used to it.
Can't sit there and watch a Steelers game and not be impressed about the amount of terrible towels in that yellow that's just going. Doesn't matter where you go.
The fun part in Ireland, the Rooney history of the family there is just he was the ambassador of Ireland. And
yeah,
they had a Steelers pro shop downtown. And I mean, that place, you walk in the door and you're in the line. I picked up some towels for the guys. Like my wingman and roommate was a Pittsburgh cat. So, and then got a couple of guys I work with are big Steelers fans too. So I got that commemorative towel from Croke Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
Reminding them this is not the first time the Steelers have played in Ireland either. And they were like buying these $400 tickets, like being a piece of history. Like, you guys have played here before. Like, no, we haven't. Like, 97, I was coming off a JTF 6 mission. Still had cami paint on, turned my weapon in, and I walk by the team room and I look over and there's a football game getting played. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, is it football already? Like, no, they're playing. I'm like, who's playing? Like, Steelers and Bears. I'm like, where are they playing? Like, Ireland. I'm like, it was like a fever dream. I remember way back in the day. Like,
well, they say it's the first actual NFL game, but I remember that game, but they're saying it's the first official game. So I don't know if it's preseason or what.
Regular season game.
Yeah. Man, I wish you were there. I would have known you were there. I would have asked you. I would have sent you some money to get me a damn one of those terrible towels, because I've got a terrible towel from like back in the 80s to now. But it's like
the terrible rag.
Terrible rag. Okay. Well, I'll let you guys go since Jess is going to be offensive here. So.
All right, Jim, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, guys. Just got back from a wedding. I was down in Florida, so
very nice. And now you did your event. Was it this past weekend you had the event, or
it was last weekend?
Last weekend, okay.
Yeah.
But a big turnout.
Oh yeah, we had 900 and we had over 1,000 sign up, but we had 95% participation, so it was like 975 runners. We swore in 87 poolies that day and had over 250 JROTCs running it.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. What was that event, Jim?
That's the Mud Run.
Mud Run, yeah.
Next year, we have our 23rd annual Mud Run on September 26th.
Very cool. Man, that's awesome. All right, well, we can jump over to the Sensei over there. How you doing there, Sensei?
Doing all right. Tired. It's been a long weekend. Let's see, the kiddo came home from college this weekend, so I had to drive up, get her, come back, spend a few. Well, actually, she spent all of her time hanging out with friends, and then we basically at the end of the weekend drove her back to college and came back. And I mean, it was kind of great not seeing her while she was here. I mean,
how does that work out? She came home to not see you guys.
I know, right?
Like, she
came home to do her laundry and get some home cooked food. That's about it.
I love it.
Try to talk us into letting her take the car back to college. But let's see. I got a lot of stuff done out in the wood shop, and then pulled a total rookie move. Left my cigars at the cigar shop, so I don't got any cigars tonight. Yeah, I know, right, Mike? I felt the same way. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Don't you have a whole freaking multi-drawer humidor that you?
No,
I mean,
I don't. I
seriously.
have like one little 50-stick humidor in my house, and it's basically the only thing it's got in it are sticks that I want to save. So I'm not smoking any of those tonight. Like for when my daughter gets married or when my grandchild's born, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not worth all that. So yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Most definitely not worth that.
Uh,
All right, let's jump over and see how Mark's doing. Mark, you're way out there on the other side of the country. How's life?
Oh, out here on the West Coast, the best coast,
Is that the best coast?
the
Is that what
best
they
coast.
say?
It's not the least. It's not the least coast over there. The best coast, except for the politicians, politics, and prices. But
Yeah.
no, I had a great week, action packed. I was in Nashville from Monday to Thursday for
Nice.
work, but got a little time out in town to see the country legends out there, and
Very cool.
then I came back, and Friday we had the Third Battalion, First Marines, basically Iraqi and Enduring Freedom reunion. But we welcome all eras of 3-1 veterans to it. But we had the memorial service that morning. Um, we had a Marine Corps ball that night,
Mm-hmm.
and it was great. Then I couldn't make it on Saturday, but they did a memorial hike up to the crosses there at Camp Horno.
Yeah.
And then they went down to the San Onofre Beach Club and broke bread again. I couldn't make the Saturday events, but it was a great weekend. Um, so was pretty active from Monday to Saturday. So
Yeah.
I just kind of kicked back today, got ready for this evolution
Nice.
here.
Yeah.
So great to be here,
Well, that's awesome, man. You were all over the place.
all over the place.
When I said around the country, it was just you. You were around the country. Yeah. That was just for you. Well, heck, I haven't done much of anything other than sit here and do the podcast. I've been doing these live streams on the Ticker Talkers, and there's all kinds of guys on the Ticker Talker that'll engage. In fact, they're on here engaging with me right now. So it's pretty cool. I've got the most engagement from TikTok, actually, which is crazy to me. And I don't even understand it, to be honest with you. They give me these hearts and these little gifts or whatever. I don't know. But thanks for giving it to me, I guess.
But what were you saying on one of your shout outs there? You were saying Brazil? People in Brazil are like big downloads?
Yeah. So this past month, we had over 2,600 downloads. And Brazil led the way on those downloads with, I think it was like 800, maybe 900 downloads. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. It was Brazil number 1, number 2 was the US, and then number 3 was Argentina. And then it kind of branched out from there.
Why are they looking for boat captains or what?
I don't know. I don't know what happened down there. But it's like I tell everybody else, I will take whatever they give me. So if it's a fluke, it's okay. I'll take a fluke. Bring it on. Fluke me 2 or 3 more times. I'm okay with that.
Heck yeah.
So, but there was 3 days. One day there was over 1,000 downloads. Another day I think it was like 600 or something downloads, and another one was like 200 and something downloads. So I mean, that really, really pushed us up. And I'm getting average about 25 to 30 downloads a day right now, which is pretty good. So I can't complain. So
nice.
Yeah. Huh?
I said nice.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yes, I agree. Yeah. So let's jump into a little bit of the discussion. Pete, good old boy Petey, he had some choice words for some people. What did you guys get from that whole thing, and have you seen any blowout from it?
A sharp knife cuts cleanest. Gotta say what you mean what you say. Get it out front.
Yeah. And I'd say it happened. He laid it all out. That's for sure.
He did do that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying could it have been an email, and I definitely don't think it would have had the same impact if it was an email.
No.
That's
Yeah, but
leadership by modem.
yep, exactly. But like having everybody in their service uniforms, and left hand, left knee, right knee, and pay attention. This isn't a discussion. You will sit there and listen. And I thought that was awesome. I mean, some people are saying, you're insulting the intelligence of the greatest war fighters on earth. Okay, maybe, maybe not. But guess what? Everybody has a boss. And if you're a general, guess what? You still have a boss. Sorry, not sorry.
Damn right.
Just because you made
And
it,
if
you got to.
if the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah, yeah. Just because you got a star on doesn't mean you're the boss. All of a sudden, you still have a boss.
Yeah, that's true. And I like the fact that he's calling everybody out on one PT, which was pretty cool. And did you see that he just, I think it was today, they broke a Guinness Book of World Record for like as many or group push-ups or something like that. And he was out there on the field doing it with Navy. They did that today at the game.
Nice.
Yeah. He doesn't mind. He gets out there and gets to work, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking crap about him that you're not a combat veteran. You were on Fox. You wrote books. You did this. You did that. But I mean, but in the same sense, I'll go back to Mark. I mean, Mark, what is your thought on his opinion on the military in general? Just not just the Marine Corps, but
I think he has a high opinion of it, but because it's just obvious, the performance of all the operations going on. It wasn't the service members who were in charge of that debacle of Afghanistan withdrawal, but there was generals who should have been relieved and fired for that crap, and
I agree with
other
that.
generals should have just resigned in protest because of it, but they did. None of them had the moral courage to do it. He's not talking about how the service members themselves are substandard or anything like that. He said we got the best capable force in the world. But there are apples that are in the barrel that are rotten, and those rotten apples affect the others.
Yeah.
That's true.
What about what he's talking about? Standards as far as beards and
I love
fingernail polish and stuff like that.
I love it. I said in a Facebook post on someone's page, when we volunteer to join the military, we voluntarily subordinate our cultural traditions to be a member of the whole. And so all the Sikhs with their head coverings and their beards, and all these other people with beards, they don't even, they say they don't even have to tell them that they have a reason to have a beard. That it's that ingrown hairs and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going back to the standards. You got 1 year of remedial action on your beard or on your face, and then you will be clean shaven again. And if not, you will be discharged for the medical purpose. I said I liked everything he said.
Oh, I got to hit the unmute. I'm over here talking to the TikTokers too. Oh man, I'm gonna go back on mute because I forgot what I was gonna say.
What do you think? What are your thoughts, Mike?
Well, I can see it can go both ways. I mean, I know the no shave chit, the shave chits and stuff like that, but unfortunately I wasn't affected by that, so I don't know. I served with Marines that had them, as far as, even their head and their face. But, what point in time does that affect your worldwide deployment?
It could, but I've got to tell you, when I was a drill instructor, I had a drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Shackelford was his name. And I had a recruit that, I mean, his face was eat up, man. He had like big old stuff all over, man.
Well, I get it. Yeah.
And so it was like the first night we're shaved. They, you have them shave or what have you, and they come out, and I swear to God, it was like a murder scene or something. His face was so bloody, and like, so I pulled Shackelford aside. I'm like, hey, dude, like, how does this work? I mean, he's another black guy. Like, how do you shave? You're able to do it. Why isn't he able to do it? And he goes, oh, you just got to teach him how to do it the right way. And I'm like, all right, because I was a senior, and I'm like, okay, well, you need to go teach him.
Get on it. Yeah.
But what were those guys shaving with? What were they
shaving
with? Like Bic razors?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, they're not. They got really good razors at NCRD. Those
it's
Gillette.
the Mach 3 or Mach 5
or
whatever the heck they are.
Yeah, those are good.
It wasn't in
'92.
Yeah, they wasn't in '92. It was, you had a damn disposable. You could blow on the handle of it and whistle on it. Bic razors.
We didn't have that in San Diego. We didn't have no Bic razors in San Diego.
Yeah.
Because that's the big thing is the skin has got to be prepared. It's got to be softened up and then lathered up really good so that they'll get the hairs to stand up straight, and then a good clean razor. Sometimes, those black recruits or black Marines can only use that razor one time, and it's not sharp enough anymore.
Yeah.
Because if the hair gets cut in a jagged manner, it'll ingrow.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing. I think that's what they're going on with the no shave chits. The shave chits. I've never experienced that. I get it on my head if I use a dull razor or something like that, but I have never experienced that, so I can't even begin to tell you what it's like. I've served Marines that suffered with it, but
one of the guys on the TikTok was just saying that he had a Marine that went in and got the laser hair removal stuff on it for his face, and he said it worked really good for him. I'd never even heard of that. Somebody doing it, but
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it makes sense. It'd be way better than having to put a razor there and take the chance, right?
Yeah. But now he'll never have a beard. So
does that last forever?
It lasts for a long time.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh. Wow.
Well, I think the most important thing is, like, here's the standard. You have 1 year, which is it's light duty for anything. If you're on light duty for a year, if non-deployable for a year, thank you for your service. Patriotism noted. It done babysitting and coddling, and there are standards. If you don't meet the standards, then thank you for your service.
And that's going along what you're saying, Vic. I've watched a lot of videos on actual active duty people posting about that they're like, we went out in town, basically got a second opinion, but it was a civilian opinion. It said, no, they can't do this. They can't do this. And the guy I was watching this video had a beard like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I get you can't shave, but okay, can we, are you able to trim it down? Trim it down to
now
a reasonable standard.
I don't know about all the other services, but the Marines.
Yeah, well, this was an Army guy, and I'm not sitting there talking crap about any of them, but I mean, he had didn't have a mustache, but it was like, it was cut here and it was perfectly cut, but he had a beard like to here, and he was a sergeant first class, just going bonkers about it, and I was like,
is that dude that is actually
I was
retired?
like, so what's stopping you from? No, I don't. He may be. I don't know.
He's a comedian dude, and so he gets in his uniform.
No,
he
may be.
I don't know.
It's like, okay, if you're able to do all that, you can't cut it short. That's my thing. Is like, okay, well, you cutting it shorter with a actual electric razor and trimming it down.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how does the electric razors work? I mean, is it still the same type of thing? For people that get those ingrown.
I would think that'd be worse.
Really?
Just me. I mean, I just think it would be worse, but
yeah, I have.
Well, yeah, use an electric razor to shave. It never did well on my face, but I'm talking trim it down. So instead of being like this, You know, can you bring it in just a little bit? You know, when you got a whole, you know, like Vic's goatee, when it's this long, to me that there's something going on there. But you know, that's just my opinion. We're all a
Yeah,
bunch of old salty old assholes. So I don't know
Again,
about Jess,
Chris over
really,
but
here
you know,
on
once again,
TikTok says
it
that their
comes down
electric razors
to
are worse.
it comes down to subordinating your wants to be in the military. I remember in the early '80s, the Native American Marines were trying to pull, hey, well, smoking peyote and having an earring, that's part of my religion, you know, and stuff like that. They tried it a lot, and you know, that's when piss tests were first starting, you know, and they were getting popped, and they said they tried to pull the religious belief type thing, and
That's
no, you
interesting.
subordinated your cultural heritage items for the opportunity to serve your country.
That is true. Yeah.
well, I know serving in 29 Palms in 94, 95, you know, one particular, you know, he was a sergeant, I was a corporal, and then became a sergeant. But you know, unfortunately, you know, as we called them, dark green Marines, but you know, black guy, you know, get his head shaved every week, get a haircut, get it shaved. You know, poor guy, the back of his head was just like, oh my god. You would see it, and it was like, man, you just felt bad for him. So I've never experienced that, but I understand that. I can't imagine that on your face. But you know, at some point in time, when does it become an issue where you can no longer function like that, or you can't get a haircut or shave? You know, and Jess has been extremely quiet because I think Jess has something to say on this, but he hasn't said anything. So he's either not paying attention or
I can't have an opinion on any of these matters at this current time.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Good
No,
call, man. Good
I mean,
call.
I don't know. I don't know what, you know, and I actually feel bad for those that, if that actually affects them, because it doesn't affect me. Yes, we all get ingrown hairs, but we don't have it to the point where it like dramatically affects us.
I
So
can tell
I
you,
don't,
I know that month 4 into a ship on a Westpac, when even the metal's sweating, it rips your face up. And then your month 4 in the desert or the mountains, everything gets ingrown. But I mean, at those points, you kind of just let things slide. I mean, haircuts get a little funky on ships too, because everything is, I don't know how many Westpacs between us all here, but my haircuts were very lax by the time I got off a ship at 6 months. So, because there was just a line out the door, and you kind of got what you got. And then double A batteries were hard to come by. So if you try and dry shave, or if you use water in the desert, you're wasting it. So lathering up, I mean, water is a precious commodity, especially on the end of the line. I remember seeing Afghanistan. We picked up guys that hadn't seen a PX truck in 3-4 months. They were on the combat outpost, that they came back with beards and nobody even blinked. They were just happy to have pants that were functional. I remember the OCPs first came out. We picked a kid up in Kandahar on a lift that his wang was hanging out because every pair of pants he owned was just ripped out in the crotch because they were on constant patrol. So when you start talking about the other end of the spectrum, not the garrison side, you kind of get what you get.
That's totally understandable on
Yeah.
things like that.
But
And no one, I don't think, like you said, no one blinked an eye when they saw him, because that was the situation they were in. Couldn't, like I said, you wouldn't be wasting water when you don't get a resupply of water for once a week, 2 weeks, whatever. No, hell no, you're not going to waste it like that.
But
I,
we're looking at 20 years of war too. So how do you start switching that mindset from forward deployed to garrison? Because I mean, a lot of the stuff
It
we're
is
talking
different.
about is activities. I mean, I branched both the 90s and the 2000s where it came into I came in garrison, and when I left, it was war footing, and everything was pointy end, pointy stick, and there was lethality on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a cultural shift, not just between the races. It's going to be a cultural shift between the garrison versus the deployed status.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it shouldn't even be considered as far as garrison, war, anything like that. It's just standards are standards, and when you have the opportunity to maintain a certain level, you maintain it at that level. I did 6 of my 9 deployments, infantry battalion deployments aboard naval shipping, and and we didn't worry about the ship's barber. Every platoon had their own barber, and every platoon had, sometimes even squads had their own barber kits, and that was just something we prepped for before we left. And so yeah, it was tough getting, the haircuts were pretty funky, and you appoint someone to be the the platoon
there was
barber.
always a kid from LA who could give you the perfect line though and the perfect fade.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know
But it's not
guy
even
Nope.
deployment to garrison. I mean, you stop and think about like tattoos. The whole tattoo culture went ballistic.
Yeah.
In the
You're right on
military
that.
going into 2001, 2002, 03, and on, because it
Well, you
was
saw such a
sleeves down.
huge shift in it. It went from, you can only have underneath PT gear, whatever, and so many out. And then it was, oh, no, you can have them full sleeves, whatever. And then those Marines that went out and got full sleeves, you come to find out, no, you can't have full sleeves. And they were getting in trouble.
Well, you guys were in the 90s too. I mean, for the most part, you remember when we went through the whole, you're going to start documenting every tattoo. And I remember guys getting booted because they got the German Eagles on. So there was all of that all the time. So best policy was not to get a tattoo. No club patches was a policy we had for a while. Didn't matter.
Mark doesn't have any tattoos, do you, Mark?
No tattoos.
Sergeant Major retired. No tattoos.
No tattoos. My dad was a Korean War veteran in the Army infantry. He didn't have any tattoos, so I never got no tattoos.
I got 3 of them now, so
He was
I can't say.
wounded. Yeah, so that was just me,
I figured Mark could have a big eagle globe and anchor on his back with the Marines hammer around all the way around it. That's what I figured.
I actually kind of wanted one, a USMC on my forearm, right there on my forearm, just a wham.
Yeah. I got or my dad had on his forearm. It was an Eagle Globe and Anchor, but you couldn't really tell what it was. I mean, he got it back in Korea time, and man, by the time years and years later, you couldn't tell anything. He'd have to tell you what it is. But I just remember looking at it all the time. What is that, Dad? What is it?
I remember we had a platoon starting over in Weapons 2-4 who had like tiger stripe all the way down his leg. What? It was just ankle to the ass. It was just tiger striping.
Wow.
I mean, the battalions in the 90s, it was just everybody had tattoos and it was extreme. Everything was like hands and face. It was the only thing off limits. Well, I remember guys with like tattoos in the lip too. I mean,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then for a while there, especially if you wanted to go on MSG duty, and then even drill sergeant duty for a while, you couldn't have only like for MSG you couldn't have any showing, and then for like the drill sergeant only have so many showing below the sleeve line.
Yeah. Good times. Well, what are we going to talk about next? Let's see. We got the government shutdown. Are you guys ready to for this government shutdown or what? Has it affected you yet? I know it has Jess. He's not working right this second, but he don't want to talk about that. But everybody else, How's that going for you guys?
It hadn't affected me yet because you already know my story. So
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hasn't we're at the Wounded Warrior Project. We're already preparing for, our alumni, the ones who were signed up for us, to not be receiving their pay, and they're going to need emergency financial assistance. So we're waiting for that influx of requests if this keeps going.
Now, usually the active duty folks, they don't have to worry about it. Like the banks and stuff like that usually step up and will front load it for
Correct. Especially give it to Navy Fed. I don't give them a lot, but that's one thing they do.
USA
one
is
thing
really
they
great
do.
too, by the way. This is my third one, and USA, Navy Fed, highly recommend.
Well, the VA is going to continue to pay both the pension and then my daughter's schooling. The VA education benefits are continue. So she's good. I'm good. I got 4 different income streams between retirement, pension, school board, and school. So we're good.
I did sit through. We had a state conference for the VFW, and it had one of the benefit coordinators come up and talk about it yesterday. And the VA is going to be relatively unaffected when it comes to appointments. It's only the outward facing, and then pre-needs for burials and some other stuff. But they're going to keep going what they have, maintain the standard, or maybe maintain the line. But anything external or reaching out it's going to be impacted.
Then, public affairs, their hotlines. You can't call them their hotline.
But the other thing is,
that's
one
weird.
of the things we did in the state here is they're shifting the regional office from the Sioux Falls VA over to their other office for the state. So that's something that I check into if you're being affected. The state VSOs are going to step up. So that's one of the tricks to keep an eye on. But so if it's impacted federal, the state's going to open offices, and there's going to be a lift and shift movement from where they're at to where they're going. So just heads up.
It's good to know. Good to know.
By hotlines, I mean their compensation hotline and education hotlines. I don't know about their suicide awareness hotline. I'm sure that's probably still up and running. But
no, that'll stay up. There's no way they're going to shut that down.
But
they better not shut that down.
Public affairs is shutting down. I mean, all the outward facing stuff. But.
Yeah. Right on. Well, let's jump into more shootings. There was the guy in North Carolina, Marine, that did the shooting this go around. What are you guys thinking about all this craziness?
Well, both of them were the one in Michigan as well.
Yeah.
Have they given anything about his background as far as his military background, MOS, or anything like that?
I haven't
seen
anything.
One was military and one was reconnaissance infantry. So
the only thing that comes to mind is this is all symptoms of a larger issue in society. Everybody keeps saying mental health this, mental health that, and, of course, or one side is mental health, the other side is saying, well, we shouldn't have guns anyways. But it's this is we're reaching a tipping point in our society right now. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. But something's going to break, something's going to snap. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's gotten as bad as it's going to get yet.
I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to say a couple things I've noticed. I've never fired a honor guard for a suicide for somebody who's aligned with a veteran service organization, and I don't know of any mass shooter that's got military ties that's aligned to a veteran service organization either. A lot of this is folks are being they're separated out from society. They get into darker holes. I'm telling you now that is like 2 things that I've noticed just from my local area. We have not fired a suicide honor guard for anybody who is active or even showed up or even aligned with the Marine Corps League, the VFW, the Legion, and their regular members.
That's a good point.
In touch with their community. They start going into the Discord, Reddit, rabbit holes, and they just become radicalized. So
yeah,
that touchstone of society and touchstone of like having some folks with similar backgrounds or even be able to talk not on a message board and having your shit checked in real time is actually one of the best things I can recommend. And I just, if you want a selling point for these organizations, there it is.
I would agree with all that. Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
So you're saying you never done an honor guard for somebody that's committed suicide? Is that what you said, Jess?
We have, but they're not aligned with a veteran service organization. They're not a member of the Marine Corps League. They're not a member of the VFW, the Legion, DAV, none of it. We do a ton of honor guards up here because we got the state cemeteries just up the street, and the suicides we end up shooting or hearing about, they're not members. They're not aligned. They just kind of break contact with everything and cut ties. And when they cut ties, they find a new cohort. When you find a new cohort,
have you ever stopped and thought about what causes that though? And I'm going to be an advocate for this because I'm dead serious when I say this. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but I mean, have you ever stopped and thought what causes these veterans and these Marines or whoever it is to not be a part of these organizations?
Yes. Hard. I spent a lot of time thinking about this actually. And that's, I can go down the rabbit hole when it comes to this, but I mean, meeting format.
Well, we can. Yeah, I can too. But I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. And I'm sorry, but it's extremely passionate to me because that bothers me. You got veterans that served this fucking country and actually did shit, went to war, and they went down a rabbit hole. They went down this. They became alcoholics. I'm not talking about people that go out and commit mass shootings and shit like that. I'm talking about people that took their own damn lives.
Yes.
And their families and stuff don't get a chance.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I do this about once a quarter. Yeah. Andrew and I were talking about this the other day. About once a quarter, we're doing these. It's either battalions or somebody we know. About every 3 months, we're hearing about a suicide.
Yeah.
If you go down the rabbit hole on this, I mean, when you start looking at the numbers, if they're aligned to some type of organization where they're showing up on the monthly and they got folks outside of the organization.
Yeah, but you got people that can't even join the organizations.
That's
that
true.
Want to join. They want to be a part of the VFW, the Navy, Marine Corps veteran, whatever the fuck it is. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I just got passionate. I'm sorry.
Let her rip.
I promise you, I want to be a part of every single fucking organization there is, but I can't because I fucked up.
And what I'm telling you is there's ways to do this. I know that
there's ways. That's all I hear is there's ways. There's always ways.
Okay, here's one. It affects us locally. The COVID shot. They came out with another honorable OTH. So the first thing we did is get them in, and they just hang out with us. We just want them to hang.
Yeah.
You don't full membership. I don't care. Just come to the meetings. I don't care. Get involved.
COVID discharge. What is the what was the policy about? Were they restored?
You have to go to the naval. Yes. You have to go to the Naval Records Branch and get them worked, and it takes forever. We're still waiting.
But yes, they can get it back.
Yes,
but there are like to what Mike is saying. There are individuals that have gotten out on bad conduct or other than honorable and those types of things that they're not allowed to officially join one of the organizations. And that's a process from all of them.
Yeah, I get that, but why can't they just show up?
They can. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming that they can. I don't think anybody's going to kick them out, but I don't know.
The only one out of this whole group, of all the groups, Mark, I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah. The only one who's ever invited me for the Marine Corps League is Jim. Marine Corps League, he's like, just please, man, just show up. I can't just magically show up from Southwest Georgia to Tennessee.
True.
I can't just show up.
I get that.
And AJ has said the same thing, man. You just do this. And Mark has, and Vic has. Jess, I don't really know you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to lash out at you. But I'm just being honest with you. It's like, I don't know what to say. Do I want to be a part? Yes. Can I? No.
We got a crew right here. Talk. This is exactly what it's for, brother. If you can't find an organization, make one. That's exactly what this is for, I believe.
And that is something that I think we need to look at, and I've talked to different Marine Corps League members about this before, but I think there should be something in place that says, hey, if you got in a bad conduct discharge or whatever, there should be a way to eventually work your way back. Because how many individuals that have gone on to do great things in society, they learn from their mistake, they just got kicked out or whatever, right? There should be a way for them to get back into the fold. And unfortunately, for me, it's very personal, because as Marines, we always say, never leave a Marine behind, right? Once a Marine, always a Marine. And then these guys, they can't join any of the organizations. They can't become part of the Marine Corps League. They can't become anything. Well, that's not in line with what we preach, I don't know.
It's also double jeopardy.
What's that?
It's also double jeopardy. You're punishing someone twice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And even like with VA benefits, even if you have a bad conduct discharge or whatever, there's certain benefits you can still get if you've had at least one honorable discharge.
Right. So if you've been in for 15 years, what's that?
We need to build a pathway.
Absolutely. I agree.
I got hammered on this one, but the associate membership was one of our best tools until it got taken away.
Yes.
And that is a perfect example of how we can do something.
The associate membership for which organizations?
The Marine Corps League.
They took that away?
Shut off as well. I mean, there's a perfect way we could align and still maintain the same on the national level. The associate membership was amazing. And then we got ruled against.
But we can put that to a vote. We can, in fact, that's what I'm going to try to do is in the bylaws or what have you, is try to get that in for a vote for next year's, what's it called? The National Convention. I don't know if that'll work out or whatever. But
it's a national convention. We talked about that as well. I mean, I've got guys with OTHs that I'd love to have in, and we are screaming for the Marine for Life to release the list, because we are losing guys too early because they don't even know about us.
Yeah, agreed.
One of the suicides we had to shoot down south here, and it was just a mess for us, but he had Marine Corps flag on the wall. Sheriff's Department found it for a life check. The county veteran service officer, a really good friend of mine, they kicked it to another county because that's where he was from. The family reached out to recruiters for veterans benefits for the funeral. They were told that they were going to get an SGLI, so they got the premium package. So the funeral director hung him on the hook for $15K. So we're doing everything behind the scenes. They didn't know that they get a free plot at the state cemetery. We build caskets and urns up here in Sioux Falls. Veterans Honored Interment. We kick money to it every year. Free caskets, free urns. They sold them the premium package, but we did not know about this kid because he'd been out for less than 6 months. Had no idea we even existed. And this is just indicative of the things we're finding out. And I'm asking for these lists so we can at least, hey, here we are. This is what we do. Don't care about, I have to care about the honor, the discharge, but build us a pathway we can get these guys involved and leave no one behind. So sorry, that's my rant, brother. Mike, I know where you're coming from, brother. I'm dealing with I got a lot of friends in that same boat, and it kills me every time.
Well, I would agree, because I'm also, the junior vice of our detachment, and I mean, it's pretty bad when you guys say, "Hey, brother, once a Marine, always a Marine," and you gotta go, "Oh, sorry, you got busted, and now you can't be part of us." So, I think We just need to let the national really know it's got to change, or
Yeah.
we're gonna, or otherwise, Marine Corps League is gonna keep dwindling.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at the Marine Corps and how much do we even people that have done horrible things. For example, shooting the president happened to be a Marine. Hey, what do the Marines say? Hey, he's a good shot, you know.
Yeah, they
And then
tout
Marines are
'em.
proud of
They
that.
talk about them.
Yeah,
And I think a good path like would be to start with the ones, especially that were in longer, that have at least one honorable discharge. And we
Agree.
got to be able to start using that. That he came in, he fulfilled his contract. Maybe on the next contract or the one prior to that or after that, he came into some hard times. But he has one or two honorable discharges. That should be able to be used as a criteria to join.
I agree. Absolutely.
As a contractor, I worked a lot of units, and I'm telling you right now that when I worked with, especially the Army, their first and foremost reason, especially coming back from a hard deployment, was to put them in mental health and find a way to discharge them. The easiest way out was OTH. God forbid that kid ever smoked weed or did something to like take the edge off, but they were hitting alcohol-related incident after alcohol-related incident after alcohol-related incident, and then it was gone. They found ways to roll these guys out. You got to bring them back in the fold somehow.
Yeah, so that's
Absolutely. And
Because we
that's
weren't
one of the
investigating
things that
that's just pathetic leadership there.
That's wartime leadership that was worried about their next deployment.
Yeah.
They're worried about looking forward instead of taking care of the folks they had on deck.
Absolutely.
But build a pathway for us to help these folks out. That's all I'm asking for at a detachment level. Because it's easy to talk about this at a national level and have your high standards in the ivory tower, but down here where the metal meets the meat, and we're trying to actually get this thing off the ground, give us tools to work with.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way forward. I think we can push for it. I think we can get it. It's just a matter of getting everybody to understand and doing some sort of campaign with it, especially at least through the Marine Corps League, right? We should be able to do that, but
I don't know if everybody knows about irreverent warriors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care.
What is it called?
Irreverent warriors.
They're the guys that do the hikes and the silkies.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't wear silkies.
I'm on right now.
I will never wear silkies.
No balls.
Yeah. I'm just not doing it. You can try to peer pressure me.
But there's also red, white, and blue. There's
there is. Oh, there's lots of them. Yeah, Josh, you're right.
But when we start talking about, they're not everywhere.
No, they're not. But we all need to work on getting the Marine Corps League to take a little look at this.
Yeah, I'll find out on my end, because I know there's a form and all kinds of weird stuff that I got to fill out to get it on the docket for next year, which I don't know any of that stuff yet. But I'll try to find it, and then I'm sure you guys can help me out with it too. I hear Chat GPT is pretty smart, so
yes.
I like Chat GPT, man. That thing helps me out a lot.
Almost daily. I use it almost daily.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm constantly using it to like summarize speeches and meetings, and like I'll record. I use an AI program to record all my meetings, and then I take the transcript and I put it in Chat GPT. Ask it for takeaways, ask it for whatever. But then since it's in ChatGPT, it stores that information, and then I can go back and basically it's almost like a database of information. I can ask ChatGPT, out of all of our operations committee meetings, what about this? And it will say, on this date you talked about this, on this date you talked about this, on this date you talked about this. Here's what
Wow.
blah blah blah. Yeah. It's people don't even understand, or the vast majority of people don't understand.
I've only played with it
I
just
definitely
a
don't.
tiny bit. What's that?
I definitely don't understand that.
It's like your brain, but better. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I've never taught a percussion only class, because band classes, you buy a band method book and you have all your kids use the method book, and it's basically a curriculum for band. But I've never taught a percussion only class. So I went into ChatGPT, give me a 38-week percussion class, utilizing mallets, marching percussion, and hand drums. I don't even think it took 30 seconds. 38 weeks. It gave me 38 weeks worth of things to do. Switching between all three of those, and then you can say tie it into state standards and use provide assessments and all this. Okay, there it is. I mean, it's hours worth of work in seconds.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna have to
a
learn
good
that.
deal. I don't have the part that you pay for. I just have the free stuff, and
me too.
It does fantastic.
I
mean, you only get so much a day, but that's all right.
And Mark, I'm telling you, it's easy to get started. Like if you write an email, you can tell ChatGPT, respond to this email with this tone, blah blah, and then say, it'll write your email. Little simple things like that. Write me, birthday ball speech, and mention these things, and it'll write it. Start simple, and then once you realize how useful it can be, then you'll start looking for other reasons and other useful things to use it for. But just something that's going to take you 15 or 20 minutes to do, see if ChatGPT can help. And I guarantee you, they can.
It does really great for me for like emails or anything like that. I could just say, hey, this is the basic gist of what I want to send out. And boom, it creates it and makes it all look professional and doesn't make me sound like an idiot. So there's that. And it takes a lot to do that.
Yeah, it does. It does. But
thank you.
There's people say that chat or AI, because there's so many of them out there now. But the AI is your best first draft. Because once you say, okay, write me a speech that says this, then you got to go in and make it sound like you. Because if you're reading it off a page, if you're reading it straight out of ChatGPT, it's not going to sound like you. People know what you sound like. So you got to go in and change happy to glad and kind of do all these things. And you'll as you read it, you'll be inspired. Oh, take this out, put this in, that kind of stuff. So, but I mean, it's a good first draft.
But it does get to know you as well. And so the longer you use it, the more it will start sounding more and more like you. Yeah. Or know what you like, I guess I should say.
Yep. I've asked it to. I've asked it to say, I had a parent email me, about this particular situation. Respond to a disgruntled parent about this, and it will come out with, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. You'd be surprised. I mean, and sometimes it hits the mark, and sometimes it doesn't. Like, okay.
Respond to a disgruntled parent. I like that.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. You'd be surprised what it can do. But I use it probably.
Yeah, use it to study.
60 to 70% of what I use it for is my school board related stuff.
Wow.
I
used it to send an email to Gene Simmons to ask him to come on the podcast. So far, it hasn't worked. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying.
Hit or miss,
anything's worth a shot, right?
Yeah.
Gene Simmons, if you're out there, come hit me up, man. We'll get you on here.
What do they say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's true. See,
that's my words of wisdom. There it is.
Ooh, you got it in early. I like that. Yeah. Well, shoot, you guys got anything else you want to talk about, or?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
No?
I mean, that's all the interesting stuff happened.
Sensei's good. Mark, you got anything?
No, I don't.
All right, Mike, you got anything else? Jess, what about you over there? I should say up there. You're up north. Yeah. All right. Well, heck, man, I guess we'll just jump right into words of wisdom. What do you guys say? I like it.
That's good.
All right. Words of wisdom it is. All right. We'll start with Jess. I mean, you're up here at the top. Let's start with you.
Boyd Crowder from Justified. If you're going to be the bear, be the grizzly.
If you're going to be the bear, be the grizzly. I like that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I like it. Mike, what you got something for us?
I don't have anything tonight. Sorry.
That's all right. All right. No big deal. Jim, you got something?
Never give up. It's just another day.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I like it. Sensei, what do you got?
Do more of what makes you forget about your phone. Nobody lays on their deathbed wishing they had spent more time on the screen.
Wow. That was good. That was good. All right. I like it. Mark, coming up with a humdinger at the end. You got, don't let us down, Mark.
Okay, I'm going to give some advice to Pete Hegseth at the Department of War. When you give an order, make sure either the order you gave or the one you gave it to is carried out.
Very true. Yeah. Good words of wisdom there. Pete, are you listening? Pete, you need to be. Sergeant Major, square your ass away. I like it. Well, guys, hey, thanks for coming on and doing this. I truly appreciate you guys. I have lots of fun doing this. Hopefully you guys do. I don't know. For everybody out there in the I don't know, what do you call it? The internet world. I don't
Stratosphere.
There you go. For all you guys out there, whatever. I hope you enjoyed. If not, well, yeah, move on, I suppose. Go to another show. But to all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, need help, anything like that, don't forget that the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on the chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know the crew cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you served with, ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, fellas, one last time. You guys rock. I don't care what anybody says about you. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
No more 22. Honor the journey and finish the fight.